The moment my mother-in-law stepped through the door, I felt an icy chill sweep over me. Her heels clicked on the hardwood floor, each step deliberate, heavy with purpose. I was in the kitchen, chopping vegetables for dinner, the quiet hum of the fridge the only sound between us. Her voice cut through the silence. "You won't live off her anymore." I froze. My knife hovered midair. For a moment, everything stopped. The kitchen, the house, the world outside, everything became muffled. I couldn't even hear the sound of my heart beating. She stood there, glaring at me, her arms crossed, a stern frown etched into her face. Behind her, my husband, Marcus, shifted uneasily, his eyes flicking between us like a helpless spectator. The words she spoke, they weren't just a statement. They were a declaration, a line drawn in the sand. I exhaled slowly, trying to steady my nerves, but my hands trembled slightly as I set the knife down. "What do you mean?" I managed to ask, my voice barely above a whisper. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she gave a sharp look to Marcus, as though expecting him to take control of the situation. But Marcus didn't speak. He simply stood there, avoiding my gaze, his hands shoved deep into his pockets. "Marcus," I said, my voice growing firmer, a bit of the confusion turning into frustration. "What's going on?" That's when he spoke. I haven't been able to find a job, Anna. And Mom says it's time for me to—" His voice trailed off. "To what?" I asked, a lump forming in my throat. "To stop relying on me?" His face turned red, and I could tell the guilt was starting to eat at him. But the words had already been said. My mother-in-law was here, confronting us about something I wasn't prepared to face. "You need to take responsibility for yourself, Marcus," she said, her tone colder than the wind outside. "You've been living off Anna for far too long. It's time you made something of yourself." I glanced at Marcus, searching his eyes for something, anything, that might make this all make sense. But there was nothing. His silence was deafening. I had always supported him, always believed in him, even when the world seemed to be crumbling around us. But this was different. This wasn't about love anymore. This was about survival. I wasn't prepared for this kind of ultimatum. I hadn't expected it from him. Certainly not from her. "Mom, please," Marcus started, but his mother cut him off sharply.
No, Marcus.
"It's time you face the truth." She turned to me then, her eyes hard. "And you," she said, pointing a finger at me. "You need to stop enabling him. He'll never get a job if you keep holding his hand." Her words stung. They stung in a way I wasn't prepared for, but worse still, they felt like a betrayal. I had stood by Marcus through every dark moment of his unemployment. I had been the one working, keeping the bills paid, trying to make things work. And yet, here she was, standing in my kitchen, telling me that I was part of the problem. I couldn't believe it. And then, everything inside me snapped. "Enough," I shouted, my voice shaking with anger and disbelief. "I've been doing everything, and you have the audacity to come here and tell me I've been enabling him? You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what we've been through." I stormed toward the living room, pacing, trying to control the whirlwind of emotions inside me. Behind me, I heard Marcus mumble something, but I didn't turn around. This wasn't just about a job anymore. This was about respect, about boundaries, about the life I had built, and how everyone seemed determined to tear it down. I stopped at the window, staring out at the dark sky. The streetlights flickered, casting a pale glow over the empty street. "What are you going to do about it, Anna?" I heard my mother-in-law's voice, sharp and cold, echo in the room behind me. "Are you going to keep enabling him? Are you going to keep letting him stay in your shadow?" The words cut deeper than I expected. She was right. I had been enabling him. I had allowed him to be dependent on me, to rely on my income while he searched for a job he never seemed to find. But I was also scared. Scared that if I stopped supporting him, it would be the end of everything we had built. "You need to make a choice, Anna," my mother-in-law added, stepping closer, her voice lowering, "a choice that will define the rest of your life." Her words lingered in the air, heavy, oppressive. I couldn't look at her. I didn't want to. I turned back to Marcus, my gaze hardening. Is she right? I asked quietly. His silence spoke volumes. And in that moment, I realized I couldn't wait for him to make the decision for me anymore. It was my life, my future, and I had been living in a shadow for far too long. I've been waiting for you to change, Marcus, I said, my voice calm but firm. But I can't wait forever. I can't keep sacrificing everything for us to stay stuck. I need more than this. The words hit him like a slap in the face. He flinched, stepping back as if wounded by the realization. For the first time in a long time, I saw him truly see me. I'll change, he said, his voice almost a plea. But I wasn't sure if it was too late. The next morning, Marcus was gone. I woke up to an empty house, the silence echoing around me.
No budie. No explanation.
Just an empty space where his presence used to be. I stared at the note he left on the kitchen counter. I'm going to fix this. I need time. Please don't give up on me. But something in me shifted. I didn't know if I could keep waiting. Days turned into weeks. I spent my time working, keeping the routine as steady as I could, but the space left by Marcus was palpable. I began to notice how much I had been holding everything together for him. The bills, the emotional strain, the daily grind, it was all on me. I tried not to let the emptiness bother me. I tried to fill the silence with work, with errands, with anything that kept me from feeling too much. And then one evening the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. I opened the door to find Marcus standing there. His eyes were tired, but there was a fire behind them, a fire I hadn't seen in months. I got a job, he said, his voice steady. I wanted to feel relief. I wanted to throw my arms around him and hold him close. But I couldn't. Not yet. I'm proud of you, I said quietly, my voice betraying none of the turmoil inside. But you need to know, things can't just go back to the way they were. His face softened. He reached out to touch my arm, but I pulled away slightly. Anna, he began, but I stopped him. I need to know you've changed. Not just for a day, not just for a week. I need to see it every day. His eyes met mine, and in that moment, I saw the determination, the resolve I had been waiting for. He nodded. I know. And I'm ready. Months passed. Slowly but surely, I saw the change in Marcus. He came home from work every day on time, taking responsibility for the small things, the everyday tasks. We started having conversations about our future. Real conversations. Conversations about what we wanted, what we needed, and where we were headed. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't easy. But for the first time in a long time, I could see a future. A future where we both stood together, equal, with no one relying on the other.